Welcome to Startup Africa, the lively show that is broadcasted to you every Thursday on the Tuna Cheki YouTube channel. I'm your host, Pamelanga, and on this show we bring to you startup innovations that are shaking the African continent, followed by an exclusive entrepreneur interview you don't want to miss out. So let's get the show started with startup updates. Our first innovation is a made-in-Ghana wristwatch company called Caveman Watches. Anthony Zamefe, the founder of Timepiece Ghana and Caveman Watches, went from hawking down the streets of Accra selling replica watches to having his own brand of timepieces. After several years in the corporate sector, he realized that he needed more freedom to explore his creativity and abilities, so he resigned from his job and embarked on his entrepreneurial journey. He started by selling watches in the streets of Accra. Then he realized one problem, that people had good watches but bad leather straps, and manufactured leather straps were not durable. So he vowed to create his own timepiece brand and compete with the global market. He started by selling leather straps separately, thus founding Timepiece Ghana with a minimal capital. With consistency and hard work, it grew to become a Ghanaian trusted retail and repair wristwatch company, and popularly grew to become Caveman Watches. Now that's a story that is worth our time. Now let's move into the beauty industry. The Senegalese cosmetics brand Lyvv Cosmetics. After 3 years of working at L'Oréal Dakar in Senegal and several product launches later, graduate Sarah Awa from the International School of Business in Paris took her 7 years of savings to invest into her beauty business in 2015 in Dakar. Lyvv Cosmetics aims at providing quality products for women of color in order for them to live their authentic beauty. They sell lipstick, lip gloss, and lip lacquer. Their retailers are found in France, Canada, US, Ghana, and Senegal. They have 60% of their consumers from Africa, which is not a surprise because African women love to look beautiful. That's it for this week's segment of Startup Updates. Don't go anywhere because we're about to start our exclusive entrepreneur interview segment. Hello guys, welcome back to the second segment of Startup Africa. Like I told you at the beginning of the show, we have a special guest. He is the founder of Kunta Company, which is a gaming and media company based in Nairobi, Kenya. Please welcome Dean. Hi, Dean.
Hi, Pamela. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. Just enjoying a bit of cold weather here in Nairobi.
Oh, wow. How's Nairobi? How's the cold? How's the COVID? How's everything?
One, there's a ton of cold. Two, there's a ton of traffic. Three, there's COVID, but we are not, I don't know, the average Nairobian or Kenyan isn't very, you can tell they aren't very concerned, which is unfortunate. But we
right.
Yes.
We live, we move.
Yes.
All right. So, like I explained, Kunta is a media and gaming company. How do you merge media and gaming in one?
That's a good one. I think it's just all storytelling, really. And you're trying to tell a story, you're trying to give an experience, you're trying to give an interaction through media just in general. And I've been fortunate to work in different parts of media and the creative industry, from music to movies to fashion and now games. And you see a lot of overlap, a lot of connection. And that's, I think, really how it makes sense, that all of it is storytelling, all of it is trying to communicate a certain emotion, a certain feeling to your audience or your player. So for me, it's more or less, it's very similar, very interconnected. And it's unfortunate that there are these boundaries, but I see so much connection between different creative spaces.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm just fascinated that it's a gaming company, because our gaming industry it's not that popular, it's not that rampant. And as somebody who loved playing Mario Kart on my brother's Nintendo DS, anything that is gaming is interesting to me. To have African characters on a video game, on anything that is a platform, because the gaming industry is a very profitable platform. And we have kids, Africa is a young continent. So gaming is definitely a good industry to invest. So tell us a bit more about the gaming part of that's like what I really want to know. How does that work?
Wow. I think the full story started about 6 years ago when I had more or less the framework of the game we are currently working on right now. But as you said, Africa for the longest time has barely done anything in gaming. So at the time, I didn't even know where to start. And figuring out, even really knowing how to make a game or what's the number of thing you need to do. So I got slightly distracted by the films and music and etc. of the like. But then last year I got a perfect opportunity to work with a few game developers, and it reignited that passion, that desire from a long time ago. Then I got a perfect opportunity to join a game development program. I joined. We worked on a game for about a prototype, really, for about 6 months. We ended up winning the top prize at that competition, which was awesome.
Wow.
And that really, I think, showed me and us as a team that, okay, this thing is real. This thing is serious. We might as well just completely dive in, which is what you're doing right now. I'm sure the guys, everyone who watches will go to our YouTube, Kunta Content. We have a short trailer of our next game. And the idea really is just exactly what you say, to tell African stories, but in game format, and be able to give African players something they've never really played before. You've never really played an African character. You've never really been in that.
Yes.
And to do that.
Yes, because most of these European, like these foreign games, they're foreign games. They're just foreign games. We want to play. We want people that look like us. We want people that speak like us a little bit. You know, in a not 100%, but in a diverse way. But we just want our own, right? So we can say, yeah, this was made by an African. And so, why did you kind of have the desire? I know you've touched on a little bit, but why did you have the desire to tell African stories through this media company, through the YouTube page, through the video games? Why? Where does that desire come from? Because, you know.
Yeah, I think.
You could just.
Yeah, I think just to again riff off of you, even I, when I was younger, almost everything I consumed was foreign, from foreign games, movies and TV shows and etc. And as I started getting into the creative industry, it creates this personal sense of where is our thing, where is our movie, where is our game, where is our music, where are our stories, our books, and so on and so forth. And I would like a different quote unquote reality for the younger kids growing up right now. That they played a game that looked like them. They played a character that looked like them. They saw a movie that made them want to be that person. And really that was the starting point. And then also the challenge is fairly exciting, of being able to do something that's not really happened before and hopefully doing it really well. At the same time, I think there's a ton of responsibility on this generation of Africans to do significantly better for the next generation. And that's really what we need, not only through the game, but throughout all stories we try to tell.
Yes, you just touched on the fact that this generation needs to do great for the next generation, which has to do with trying to create different experiences for the next generation coming. That is through the content that we create. And media is media has a very great influence in our life. Television shows, all of us have dreams of becoming like this person, but we mostly saw them on a media platform. So what are the ways that your media company kind of influences or promotes the African culture?
Okay, that's a fantastic question. For the most part, how we try to do it, especially now with the game, but also in other things we've done in the past, is thinking, especially in terms of character and story, African first. So we try to showcase the struggles, the environment, and the stories of Africans. So through YouTube and through producing movies and so on, we try to tell a truly authentic African story that is not too perfect, but is not too struggling. Like we try to tell a story that makes sense to, let me say, the average urban African. That yes, your life is insights, but it also has certain challenges, and we try to do that in a way that is both positive but also challenging, in that we can do better, but this is what we have, this is what we have to play with, so to say.
Yeah. And so, like, people that are anticipating for the game, people that have consumed your content, what have been some of their reactions, especially about it?
I think one key word that keeps coming up is your game reminds me of upcountry. Your game reminds me of a certain place I travel to. Your game reminds me of my grandparents. Your game reminds me of when I was back in the village taking care of cows. And I think the key is the realism. Like it's really real, so to say. And the idea, yes, was to have it significantly real, but I think we went really deep into that. A challenge we get, interestingly, is, oh, you guys have put yourself on this level, you really have to do it. Like, you really have to execute. Like, you've put this challenge on yourself.
No more backing down.
Exactly. You have to come through, so to say, which is always an interesting challenge. And even looking at our weekly updates and some of the things we do on a weekly basis, the whole team gets excited, which I think personally for me is the most rewarding thing up to this point, because it's so easy to work on something that doesn't really excite you. You're just doing something just because. The fact that the team gets excited about it, the fact that they sacrifice for it, they put in their time, their energy, really is exciting, I guess, for us to work on. Yeah,
that's really great. So then the game is called HIRU.
Yes.
HIRU.
Yes.
The game is called HIRU. So what is it about?
So I hope that most of the people watching this, I'm sure you know about the Maasai.
Oh yeah, so, I do.
Exactly. So the Maasai, well-known African tribe, probably one of the most well-known African tribes. The story is about a Maasai prince whose family and his clan gets attacked by poachers. And the reason they get attacked is because they protected the herd of elephants, which is very true. The Maasai are very protective of the natural environment, except for all other natural environment. They're generally good. And the poachers attack the village. And HIRU goes on a journey of redemption for his community, for his clan, and for his family. And the story we wanted to tell is the clash between the past, sort of, and the future, where you have the poachers who are all about monetizing the natural resources that we should all celebrate and we should all take care of, while HIRU is more of an older time where he's trying to protect this world not only for himself but also for his family, and he's trying to do better. And I think it's a struggle that most Africans face. The struggle between traditional and modern, your customs, Western world, and so on and so forth. And that's something we try to at least give an option to the player to try to figure out how the African world should look like going forward.
Yeah. That is a very interesting game. And I can't wait. When is it going to be out? I think that's the most, the next question that everybody wants to know. When is it going to be out? When is the prototype going to be out? When can someone already start saving their coins to start purchasing this game?
A few things. So we are working on releasing a prototype late in September. We are looking. We've been bringing partners on board. We've been bringing funding on board, and we'd hope for an actual game launch in late 2022. Worst case scenario, early 2023. It's an episodic series, which more or less means it's episodic structured, which means when we release the game next year or 2023, it's going to be the first episode. And the idea is to give the taste and an idea of what we'd like to do or what the game could be. And definitely get people to give us their feedback, their thoughts, hopefully their support, hopefully they play the game and we're able to create more games going forward versus and getting people involved in the journey, because it's really a long journey. Games generally take about
Nice.
6 to 7 years. We are trying to do it in around a year and a half. So it definitely won't be the largest project, but hopefully the most special.
Oh, that sounds really great. So, for anybody that is watching, as he anticipates, there's already a video about what the game is going to be on the content page, on YouTube page of Kunta. So they can go and check that out. And if anybody wants to get in contact with you, they can check out your pages on YouTube, social media handles, and all of that, right?
Yeah. Our website, which is where more or less everything is, kuntacontent.com. KUNTACONTENT.com.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for taking your time, Dean, to giving us all these details. I am so excited. It's a breath of fresh air to see people invest in things that we've been neglecting. Okay. But, it's great. Thank you so much for coming. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And see you in the next episode of Startup Africa. Thank you for watching the first episode of our new series. You can support this new series by becoming a YouTube member of our channel and a Patreon. Also check out Mindful Entrepreneur Podcast in the links below. I'm your host, Pamelanga, and I'll catch you next week, same time, same place. And remember, Africa is always watching.